What's up, guys? You guys doing good? Yeah. Let's be honest, we do a masterclass workshop with this few. This is nice, right? I really like this. So big up to Lyrebird Beatbox Battle. Always crazy, always good. Yeah. If it's alright for you, I made some notes on my phone and I will keep it with me because I'm not gonna do a PowerPoint presentation, as you see. So now I'm gonna take my phone and I will sometimes I will just need to look at it, but everything what I will say, of course, is all the info that I truly can give you. So voila, I'm gonna take it. And we're gonna start with the first topics. I have 3 topics for you. So in the first place, there's just preparation in general, how to prepare for beatbox battles. And then there is mindset, and then there is battle strategy. If you have questions in between, don't hesitate to raise your hands. And if you don't get anything, I can translate in French or Dutch, but not Spanish and not German. Let's go. I'm gonna take the notes and I'm gonna talk about preparation. So, I'm gonna just put it here. I'm gonna ask you guys, how are you preparing for battles currently? You can just raise your hand and say it. Half 1 hour and a half per day beatbox. Alright, super good. That's a nice discipline. Cool. Freestyling a lot. Yes, cool. Yes, alright, so a lot of freestyling, and which is very good because often because of freestyling and improvisation and just letting things happen, often new ideas are coming. But for battles, for me it's important that you know yourself. If you know for yourself that you are a freestyler in general, also you feel more comfortable on stage doing beatbox freestyles, then you should do it. But if you get to know yourself as a beatboxer, it's important to know, like, okay, am I really somebody who wants to freestyle, or do I really want to make routines or tracks or like covering songs? And as soon as you know this, a lot of the preparation is done because you know where you need to work on, if that makes sense. All right. So what I always do, I'm somebody who's making. I try to not call it routines, but I try to call it tracks or songs, since that my music or my musical routines are pretty composed. And for me, I consider them tracks also because of the lyrics. These are just not tricks I try to show, if that makes sense. So, first thing what I do as preparation, if I know that there is a big battle upcoming, for example, the national championships, or a certain big battle like the Lyrebird Beatbox Battle, what I'm doing is I'm preparing my my tracks or routines. So I make sure I have 1 minute 30. Some people rather have like 1 minute 10, so there's still space to freestyle, which is still okay. Like I said, you need to know yourself. But as soon as you feel right, okay, this track is finished, you just need to kind of count like, okay, how much do I need for this battle? It's okay to have 4 routines or tracks, and then for the rest you freestyle. This is okay. But me, I am somebody who tries to have every round that I potentially need to perform, I will have a routine. And it doesn't necessarily need to be new, but it needs to be finished. So the composition is happening, and after the composition, I try to train it with a microphone. And I listen like, okay, what stuff is working and what stuff is not working through microphone. And based on this, I try to adapt or I try to train. So sometimes I have certain sounds who are just not coming through microphone, so I need to make choices, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just put this, just to be safe, to not have weak spots, you know? And after that, I add a little bit of choreography. And what I mean by choreography is my body movement, gestures. For example, I think you all know that if you're on stage and you do, for example, this. This might work because I'm really standing, but which is not working is this.
never be sorry for making music for people, right? So, and after, what I really think what always helps, like I said, choreography, is when you just know how to show sounds or add um, how to add visual to your audio. For me, this always works so people understand what's happening. So, for example, I have this certain part of my track. I have this, but if I do it with body movement, I have. And when I do this, it makes sense for people who are not familiar with the style. Makes them understand a bit more, and they will feel safe while listening. So as soon as all these things are done, make sure you analyze the whole packets of each potential rounds that you have made. So what I mean is, perform. Try to perform your complete routines or sets that you're preparing, and after that, it's very important to look at it. So you might film yourself while preparing, and you also need to hear and analyze what are the strong points of the round or of the track or routine or freestyle set, but also what are the weak spots. So I'm based on this, and we'll be talking about this in the part of battle strategy. But about this, it's very important how to so you can choose which round you are using for which opponent. Does that make sense? Cool. Are there questions until now? Now I'm gonna check what douche is. Okay, cool, nice, cool. Yes. The thing is, I don't write down my routines, but I record them. And every part, so for example, a certain build-up, a certain drop, a certain second drop, whatever, however the structure is decomposed. And after, I just try to put it all together, and the final version needs to be recorded. And then I try to practice in the mirror, for example, or I try to film myself. Yes, I record it just by phone. Sometimes I also upload it privately by a SoundCloud. But what I do is I record it on my phone, and then I save it in a certain file with other files, like a doc. I don't know the right English word, but it's like a map of all audio tracks. So, for example, round 1, round 2, round 3, or like Cast Down, Frozen, Nakise, like these things. I made like a kind of list, let's say. And then for me, it's like, okay, I have 1 round extra to prepare for a battle. Yes?
For the choreography, it just come up like this, or you train your choreography?
For the choreography, I try out different stuff. Often it comes naturally, but to make sure that the choreography looks beautiful, I try to just look at myself in the mirror so I can see, like, okay, if I'm doing this, I see, for example, like, okay, but I'm just actually bowing. So maybe I need to stand like this. This makes more sense, and this adds a bit of confidence, and the listener will not be worried about me, if that makes sense. For example, these small little details. And for me, you don't need to be a super performer as a battler, but what's important is that at least you are standing with a straight back, straight neck, and that you're present for the audience, so you're not wasting their time and energy for their ears and stuff. So you're like pleasant to look at. That's for me important. I will take my phone and I will go to the next notes. So we talked about analyzing the complete sets. After that, analyzing the strength and weaknesses. What always can help, I don't know if I already said it, but what will always help is, do you know the SWOT analysis or not? Exactly. So for those who are not familiar with it, You can write it down if you want. So the SWOT analysis stands for SWOT: strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. Which means like you can use this SWOT analysis to currently observe yourself. Like, okay, what are my current strengths? For example, I can say of myself, I'm a pretty clean beatboxer. Hi, by the way, guys. Is it okay if we say hi after? I'm a cool. Right. So in the SWOT analysis, you write down your strength. For example, me, I know, for example, I can say of myself, I'm a clean beatboxer. So I write down, okay, strength, I'm pretty clean. Cool. Okay, I'm pretty technical. This is also my strength. What's a kind of weakness? Okay, my pitch is not always super on tight, so I'm gonna train this. But it's good to write it down so you actually face yourself, seeing like, oh, okay, this is my weakness. Interesting. And then you basically train on this. Also during the battle preparation, it's always good. Just anyway, also out of battle preparation. Opportunities stands for like, okay, I have a battle in 2 months. So this means I have 2 months to prepare myself. This is an opportunity. Or something like, in 1 week, I have a show that I can give. And I will be beatboxing on a microphone with a speaker and stuff. This is cool because then I can maybe test my new stuff. This is an opportunity, you know? And threats is something like, for example, in my case, I'm participating at the World Championships right now. And one of my threats was in June, like, I'm moving to a new flat. So this will take a lot of time and energy. So I need to make sure that I really take care of all the time that I have, you know? So this is a threat. And based on this, you can really make a nice schedule how to progress. Very important still for preparation. Are there still questions about SWOT? It depends on what the gap is. For example, on my strength right now, I just try to keep my strength. And for my weaknesses, I try to train it a lot so that I can really defend myself, if that makes sense, for a battle. And just because I want to grow as an artist, of course. Yes? Threats? It means, like I said, I need to move soon to a new flat. And this means I can really lose a lot of time for preparation. So this is a threat. But it's good to see it. So you know, like, okay, maybe I can make a nice schedule when I can actually train. Even when it's just going to your train station or to the supermarket, you can always just train one sound. And it takes 5 minutes, but because you said you train 90 minutes per day, it's cool. You always have people who say, I practice 1 hour a day. I practice 90 minutes a day, 2 hours. Some people did 8 hours. I did 8 hours back then too, but it doesn't matter if you practice 8 hours or 10 minutes a day, as long as you train good. And what I mean by that is you don't sit with your phone, you just try to text your crush and stuff at the same time, you just focus. It's better to practice 15 minutes very concentrated at something you're totally not good at, but you're focused, instead of just 8 hours. If that makes sense. Yes. Okay. Yes. Yes, but this is a different part of the strategy. I'm gonna talk about this in battle strategy. But very nice comment. I'm gonna continue. For preparation, I'm gonna leave it a bit like this, because there will still be. I'm gonna move on to mindset right now, to the part mindset. And in mindset, I will also talk a bit about preparation, because the mindset needs to be prepared as well, not only the music itself.
Yep.